I'm Dr. Jill. Welcome to my channel, giving you big answers to life's big questions. In my last video, we looked at how naturalism answers two big questions: what is true and what is real. We learned that truth is what matches up with reality. If I were to tell you that grass is green, you would most likely believe that I am telling you the truth, because it matches up with reality. You have seen green grass before. However, if I were to tell you that grass is purple, you would probably think that what I am telling you is false, because it doesn't match up with reality. You have seen green grass, but you have never seen purple grass. Truth is what matches up with reality. Naturalism is a secular or non-religious worldview that believes that matter or the physical world is all that exists. If matter or the physical world is all that exists, then the only things that are real are physical things that can be known through our five senses. The kangaroo from the movie Horton Hears a Who gives us a good example of naturalism when she says, if you can't see, hear, or feel something, it doesn't exist. If only things that are physical are real, then the only way we can know what is true is by studying the physical world or by studying science. Naturalists believe that only what can be tested by science is true. But this is a self-refuting claim, which means that this is a statement that proves itself to be false. The claim that only what can be tested by science is true is a claim that cannot be tested using science, which means the claim is false. You don't want to allow an idea that is false to shape how you live your life. It would be like continuing to live as though the earth is flat when you know that the earth is round. Today, we are going to look at how postmodernism and Christianity answer the questions what is true and what is real. Remember, postmodernism is an example of another secular or non-religious worldview that believes that we cannot know what is real, so we invent our own truth about the world. So already we have an answer to one of our questions: what is real? Postmodernism says we cannot know what is real. Now, most postmodernists don't actually believe that we cannot know that anything is real. Most postmodernists, like naturalists, believe that physical things that we can know through our five senses and that are testable by science are real. But unlike naturalists, postmodernists don't believe that physical things are the only things that are real. They just believe that we cannot know whether or not anything else is real. So they think that since God cannot be studied using science, then we can't know whether or not God is real. He might be real, he might not be, and since we have no way of knowing for sure whether or not he is real, you can believe whatever you want to about God. You can invent your own truth. So how does a postmodernist answer the question, what is true? They would say that outside of the physical world, the things that are testable using science, we cannot know what is true, which means we can invent our own truth. Here is a video clip from the movie Ugly Dolls that shows the postmodern worldview. In this clip, the pink doll has gone to the orange doll to get some advice. She has been waiting for a kid from the big world to choose her as a doll. But in this clip, she says that with no proof or evidence, she is starting to doubt that the big world exists.
I've always believed the big world is real. I know I'll find the perfect kid for me, but lately I'm starting to wonder, with no evidence, no proof, what if it's not true?
Find your own truth.
Whoa. This is why you're the wisest doll in town. You're so right. I have to believe in myself.
Sure.
What advice does the pink doll find helpful in this clip? Find your own truth. If there is no evidence or proof, if we have no way of knowing what is true, this movie says, well then, find your own truth. Is this a good idea? Can we simply invent or create or find our own truth? No. We said that truth is what matches up with reality. But if we invent our own truth, then we are not matching truth up with reality. We are matching truth up with our feelings or desires. What is wrong with that? Well, let's say I walk into the grocery store and it's right before supper and I am really hungry. And I decide that I want it to be true that it's okay for me to take a chocolate bar and eat it if I'm hungry. So I grab a chocolate bar off the shelf, open it up, and take a bite. Is that okay? Did I hear you say that would be stealing? Of course, we know that just because I'm hungry when I'm shopping, that doesn't mean it's okay for me to take food off the shelf and just start eating it. But if we are saying that truth can be whatever I want it to be, that I can invent my own truth, then you can't really tell me that I'm wrong. If I decided to take a chocolate because I'm hungry, then you can't tell me I'm wrong. Truth cannot be dependent on my feelings. It needs to match up with reality. Now, how about the Christian worldview? How does the Christian worldview answer the questions, what is real and what is true? To answer that question, let's look at the very beginning of our Bibles. Genesis 1:1 says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." What was there in the beginning before everything? God. For Christians, God is what is real. God is the ultimate reality. He was there before anything else, and everything comes from Him. Let's look at another Bible verse from Colossians 1:16-17. These verses say, "All things were created in Him. He created everything in heaven and on earth. He created everything that can be seen and everything that can't be seen. He created kings, powers, rulers, and authorities. All things have been created by Him and for Him. Before anything was created, He was already there. He holds everything together." Do you see what this verse is saying about reality? This verse is saying God is what is real. God was there before anything else. God created all things, and in Him everything holds together. So then, if God is what is real, then what is true? Truth matches up with reality. So for Christians, truth matches up with God, with who God is and with what He teaches. This is why Jesus says in John 14:6, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." If truth is what is real, and God is real, then if you want to know what is true, you have to get to know God. That is why Jesus says, "I am the truth," because Jesus is God in human form. God came to earth as a living, breathing human person. If we get to know Jesus, we are getting to know God, and we are getting to know truth. This is also why Christians think it is so important to study the Bible, because the Bible is God's word to us. And the Bible tells us what is true because it tells us about God. And when we get to know God, we get to know the truth. So Christians believe that truth is found in God because God is what is real. But maybe you are wondering, but how do we know that God is real? Maybe naturalism and postmodernism are right, that the physical world is all that exists. We can't see God or touch God. We can't do a science experiment to figure out if God is real. How do we know that God exists? How do we know that God is real? Just because we can't do a science experiment to figure out if God exists does not mean that we cannot know that God is real. This is something that we are going to talk about throughout the rest of the videos in this season. As we answer more big questions, we will begin to see that there is actually a lot of evidence to show that God does exist. Evidence from science, evidence from reason, these are our thoughts, and evidence from our own personal experiences. God is real and truth is found in Him. Join me next time for another big answer to a big question.